When I launched the game, I had my mind wondering on what type of hell I got myself into. While the game loaded, I heard a roaring orchestra welcome me into what will be the funniest thing that I may have experienced in my whole life. You may think this game would be a parody or a comedy game. You would be wrong. This game is called Hunter Call of the Wild, and it is just built differently. When you enter the main menu, you are welcomed with the nice scenery of the map you have currently selected and with a large amount of options, from selecting a new reserve to the abundance of DLCs that the game has to offer. I decided to start off in the Layton Lake District, which takes place in the Pacific Northwest. When I got to the end of the dialogue of the absolute dump of exposition that I never needed, I was welcomed by the wilderness. I first noticed the graphics were absolutely amazing for the age of the game, and the noises that echoed through the pine and the fir forests. I was instructed to go to a watchtower to survey the area I was in. After a small time walking and the challenging flight of stairs, I was shown a quick panorama of the area and then instructed to go to an outpost, which are basically campfires of Elden Ring in this game. After I was done with the basic tutorial, the game just felt like a walking simulator, and I honestly was thinking of returning it and scrapping the idea of writing a script about the game. This was until I was free from the grasp tutorial and given a quest line, which I promptly ignored and continued blissfully running across the breathtaking landscape. This was until I came across a herd of deer. I panically whipped out the 9 and fired like playing a game of CSGO. Obviously, I did not hit one animal, and it continued like this for a while. Hit and miss, hit and miss. I was shooting without care, and honestly, I was getting kind of bored. I decided to get off for the night and give the game one more try tomorrow. This time I took a more stealthy approach, crouching slowly to the animal, using lures to call them over and a scent to disguise mine. I shot. I felt like running away. I felt like the bullet hit me when I saw the deer tremble, and then fucking run away. I was on a chase, following tracks in blood. I reached the lake, and there, I saw a body of deer I just shot. I was so proud, and now I knew the strategy for attacking, and I was pulling bank. From corpse after corpse, from bunnies to bear, I was shooting everything, and this game had me hooked. I luckily had got this game during the winter sale of 2022 to 2023. So I rushingly got a lot of DLCs for like 50 cents and got a few friends on me, and we had the time of our lives and become Buffalo Bills, and we had a blast and continue to do so. The game mechanics are pretty brain dead. There are a couple simple leveling system and with perks and skills that you could get through leveling up with EXP. Some perks and skills make your tracking better, or your stealth level 100 in the range for some reason. These four things are located at the bottom corner of your screen and are the key to killing an animal. You want to be downwind from the animal. Your noise, detection, and heart rate all low. When shooting an animal, try to aim for its vitals, lungs, heart, that type of stuff. This will kill the animal quickly and also give you points when claiming the trophy. Also, there's one minor thing. You have health. Yes, you could die from falls, other people if you try hard enough, and animals. Try not to die because if you are in the middle of nowhere, it is a pain to travel back. There are 13 reserves that go all across the world, from the Canadian wilderness to the African plains to the mountainous New Zealand. All sceneries are different in their own ways and are all really good in their appeal for the eye. For example, Mississippi Acres Reserve is a very swampy place, shocker, and the map portrayed is very well. The same could be said about all maps. I only bought a few out of the 11 DLC reserves, those being Mississippi Acres, Virginia Savannah, Yukon, and Medivh Taiga. When talking about a game about hunting animals, you should expect that the animals are great in variety, behaviors, shapes, and sizes, calls, and the difficulty to hunt. This game unfortunately lacks a lot of this. In total, there are 82 animals in total, but it kind of feels like there's only one. Most of the animals are just different types of species of the same animal. For example, there are like 10 types of deer that all look the same, many rabbits and birds. Obviously, this makes sense because no game in the right mind would make you hunt anything that moves for a realistic game like this one. You won't be allowed hunting rhinos or elephants or jaguars. But also, then again, you are allowed to kill like 50 buffalo in a row and not get in trouble for it. And you can hunt lions. Anyways, I am perfectly fine with all the types of deer or other animals, as it makes sense that you are hunting where the animal lives. I don't want to see a lion when I'm in the Siberian cold, but I do also have a problem with how the animals act. All animals act the same, other than a Cape buffalo. You will see why later. All animals act like they're rabbits or deer. Everything that does not stand off or try to look intimidating after you get close to it or shoot it, they all just run. And it really is not realistic if you are right next to an injured animal and you threaten it. It will not always just run, and I don't like that. I mean, there has to be a health bar for something. Also, all the animals act like pack animals. They all don't feel like they really work well. The only animals that push home the apex predator are the Cape buffalo, if you can't believe me, for obvious reasons, which I totally understand, so watch this clip as my proof. See, that is what I want to happen. That never happens with anything. By the way, animals randomly running in your direction does not count them as fighting back. Like, look at this lion I was chasing. Also, don't get me started with glitches with the animal's AI. They are super funny, but also, when encountered, horribly game breaking. Like, look at the screenshot. It should not be possible that I could gun down all these animals. And yes, they all just stood there and took it until they collapsed and died. Honestly, for a game about animals, it really needs work on them and improve them greatly to actually have unique traits and grazing styles or hunting styles that the player has to adapt to. DLCs in this game are very abundant and broad. They range from hunting dogs to assault rifles, and this is where the somewhat serious game gets really funny, especially with the ATV. DLCs in this game are the only things that keep this game in my memory rent free. The DLCs that I got were the two weapon packs, which you could see some of the weapons in the background video I was playing, but I also got four new reserves. The, the one that I featured in this video was the Vergona Savannah, as it has the best animals, and the very special ATV pack. All all DLCs are not really game changing and do not make you OP as the ones that I bought, except the ATV. I bought the ATV pack for fun on the sale for only $2, and I was really enjoying it, just riding around and enjoying nature. This was until I discovered the full potential of it. It is great for drive rides on slower moving animals like buffalo and small animals. Everything else can easily run away, but the few animals that can be killed by driving up to them and lighting them up are easily killed. Although I suggest hunting the normal way as it is way more profitable. If you want to do drive-bys, I suggest the shotgun as it can hit a moving target well. Thing is, if you don't want to pay for the map DLCs, then I suggest trying out multiplayer, where the nice people could share their maps with you. The downside to this is that there are a lot of exploiters and hackers. Your progress will not save, and if the owner of the server leaves, the server shuts down. That is all I have to say about DLCs. There are a few things that I felt did not really feel like mentioning as they are kinda obsolete to the game, but I'll rapid fire from here. On every map, there are questlines given you by your mentor with the storyline and everything. These are optional and give good rewards if the missions are completed. There are stands and blinds that you could build sporadically around the map. They are helpful and kinda not. Depends if you are lucky. There are binoculars and photo cameras where you could spot animals or take photos of them for quests. Rare animals have a chance to spawn with a rare coat. They are extremely hard to catch, and compared to the regular counterparts. Okay, that should be it. By the way, if I missed anything else, please tell me in the comments. While you are in them, also tell us how we're doing and subscribe as we can feel motivated to make this content better and better every time. Well, that is it for the game. I genuinely love this game though, and I really hope that new maps come out with more exotic animals. For example, they have not done a Southeast Asian map before, only Northern in Russia, so that make it be a super cool to check out. I also hope that they could fix a lot of the animals' behavior and AI, but also a part of me does not, as I kind of love the feeling of stumbling upon the absolute broken AI. This as a whole, plus the landscape and other features of the game, with some sprinkled friends along the ride, which I also may make a video on if you guys want. Makes this game an absolute dream and nightmare in a good way. At the same time, makes this game really fun, and I would highly suggest buying it and playing it with your friends. Overall rating 9.2 out of 10.